Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and this is part 6 of the Make a World War II diorama tutorial. And in this part I'm going to cover rubble, building rubble, and how to make and add mud to your diorama. So let me get started right away here. The first thing I did here is, and I've got it pretty much done, is making the rubble for the building. Like we have the destroyed building over here, you can see this here. And there's a lot of concrete and boards and stuff like that just makes a ruined building, a destroyed building. And how I did that was for the planks and the boards and the timber, I just used thin strips of balsa wood, cut up thin strips and painted them and then added them in and glued them in place. And for the rubble, like the concrete rubble, looks like a broken building pieces, I used a cork. So what you can do is you can just use pliers or your hands and tear apart cork. Comes up with some really nice, interesting shapes, like this. See? Then you paint them up and you can add them in. And I do have a complete tutorial on how to do that here on my channel and on my website. So I'll put a link into the Making Rubble with Cork video right here on the screen. Okay, but next, so that's pretty easy, and you want to compose it up so it kind of looks like it's a mess. You don't want it to be very uniform. You want it to be like a building was destroyed and falling apart there. So the next thing we're going to do is let's cover mud, which a lot of people are really interested in seeing a tutorial on how to make mud and put it in a diorama. And what I have here is 3 different things. I have you can use any one of these products. You could probably even improvise something or something similar. I have a realistic water from Woodland Scenics. I have something called gloss gel medium. That's usually, the painters use that. It's by a company called Liquitex, but a lot of different companies make that. And then I have a gloss super heavy gel. So what we got here is they're like a clear substance in different thicknesses. Like the realistic water pours easily, so you could actually pour that on your diorama and it'll settle. And you can use it to make water or ponds or lakes or rivers or anything like that, and I do have some tutorials on that. So it actually pours in very well. Or you can use the gloss gel medium, which gives you sort of like a medium texture. You can actually dabble it, you can make some shape with it a little bit. So if you want like tracks in the mud or something like that, you can use that. And the gloss super heavy gel is very thick. You can actually build it up pretty high. For this tutorial, I wouldn't go with the heavy gel. I would go with either the realistic water or the gloss gel medium, and I'm actually going to do the gloss gel medium. So let me show you how I do that. It's really quite simple. I'm just going to take some of that gloss gel medium, and it's white in color, but this Liquitex will actually dry clear, which is kind of nice because you may want to have that for water effects, if anything, for any kind of effect. But I'm going to take mine and I'm going to mix it with brown paint. So you mix it with some brown paint, so it'll be a muddy color. So I'll stir that up and then I'll show you some more. Okay, all I'm doing is brushing on the mud, the medium gel, the matte. And you got to think about, when you're doing this, think about the terrain. You know the mud's going to settle into the lower parts just like water. So you don't want to keep it, you don't want to put it on the tops of hills or anything like that. Now to think about the mud is, and I think I'm going to change this color a little bit, make it a little bit browner maybe. You can manipulate the colors. So, and this is a little bit too much like chocolate. And it's muddy, but... So what what I want to say was, now the nice thing about these gels here like this, these gloss gels, is that as it's drying you can manipulate it into shape. So you can use a brush or a tool on it and it will maintain its shape. And see how there's a kind of has a high height to it? It's not just a paint, it actually has a height that you can build up. So you can do multiple layers, you can maneuver it around, and as it's getting close to drying you can actually do something like imprint it with the tank tracks and then move the tank forward, and then it will look like the tank the tracks will stay in the mud and it will look like the tank just ran through the mud. And if you're going to do something like that, you probably want to touch up your tank too. Use a very similar color and put little spackles on your tank so it looks like the tank just ran through the mud. So that's how you do mud. It's really quite simple, and use, you know, there are 3 different products you can use depending on the texture and the consistency you want to do of the mud. If you want just to pour some dark colored mud in, use the realistic water. If you want to go with a heavier and give it some texture and some shape, you know, go with a gloss gel medium or a gloss super heavy gel. And just dye it and paint it right in there. Okay, that's the end of this tutorial. Stay tuned. I'm trying to finish this diorama tutorial up, and it won't be done. And when I finish this tutorial, I'm actually going to do a stop motion automation and a stop motion animation of it. That'll be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Plenty more stuff on my website, www.stormthecastle.com.